Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips to talk all things Xbox. How's things, mate?
Yeah, hopefully all things.
Well,
This is no Operation PlayStation. This is Xbox. No, nothing but Xbox.
the Three Red Lights podcast. I don't know.
The Ring of Death.
The Ring of Death. So yeah, I mean, we kind of, I
Oh
think,
no,
referenced this last
actually,
week
no.
anyway,
We can call it the Gameplay God podcast or World Premiere or
yeah, that's got to be a killer.
coming day one. Games Pass. Sports and television.
Yeah. Call of Duty. Dogs.
Dogs.
Milo, waving at the kid in Connect. Anyway, yeah, it's I mean, similar to I guess a few weeks ago now when we did predictions for the PlayStation Showcase, which we got so incredibly wrong because PlayStation got the showcase so incredibly wrong. It's time to move on to Xbox, where they got the Xbox and Bethesda. I don't know, game showcase, whatever the hell they're calling it.
Would you call it Xbox Bethesda / Starfield showcase?
Yeah, there's a dedicated Starfield thing at the end, which will make the conversation about Bethesda Game Studios pretty easy when the time comes. But
I'm just hoping they fix the eyes up from that last Starfield trailer, where it just stares into my soul, and I didn't like it.
It's that typical Bethesda jank. But we'll get to them a little bit later on anyway. So similar to the PlayStation Showcase, we're going to go through all the first-party studios, and then eventually we'll just kind of talk about anything else, whether it's indie, third-party, whatever the case happens to be. And since we were discussing beforehand, the PlayStation episode went for an hour and 20, and Xbox has even more first-party studios, we'll be mindful not to drag our feet too much, and we'll get straight into the swing of things. We're using a list compiled by IGN here of all the first-party studios, so they're not in alphabetical order or anything like that.
7 out of 10 specialists.
Exactly. Needing more water, needs more detail on this list.
More puddles.
So it's not in region order like what we did for PlayStation. It's just in
alphabetical.
Oh, actually, sorry, it is. Yeah, 3, 4, 3. Shit, numbers first. Yeah, right.
Of course, numbers are always first.
It's alphabetical order. So I guess 343 Industries are the first team up. They're our Halo developers these days. Do you expect to see, I guess, Halo Infinite or anything associated with Halo at this showcase?
No. Maybe their new season that's taken 10 years to make. But other than that...
Yeah, I think they've got a new one that's coming out before the end of June, so there might be like a little trailer, but that's about it.
I don't think there'll be no new Halo game.
Nah.
The way I see it. No chance. After the whole debacle of people leaving... Probably not going to be anything.
Yeah. Given how Halo Infinite's going, I think all their efforts being spent, getting the seasons right, fixing the things that are broken, and they do seem to be on the right track. Like everything seems to be heading in the right direction, but I think it just needs more time. So, yeah, they might briefly reference the new season of stuff that I think for some reason like June 22nd is a date in my head. I don't know if that's right. I could just have that in my head for other reasons at the moment.
So that or a season 2. Or a season 2 of the TV show, if it...
Season 2 of Halo is coming.
It is?
That is the thing. Master Cheeks will return.
Master Cheeks. Old Master Cheeks.
All right, we'll move on from 343, because, I think it's Halo Infinite or nothing for them. Alpha Dog is a team that we've discussed when we've been like ranking or kind of like doing tier makers, which is a thing we need to go back and do at some point, another tier maker. But we didn't really know anything about them there, and even with even with the context of Monstrosity and Wraithborn being their previous games, I still don't know what the hell's going on. So, I mean, could they show up though?
They could surprise us. You don't know with Xbox Studios. They can just appear out of nowhere, or we just don't hear from them.
I'm gonna double check.
It's very
those games were like mobile games or something, or were they?
Sound very.
Monstro City is a board game.
It's a board game.
And
what like an actual board game, or is it a digital?
No, it looks like a physical board game. And then Wraithborn is a, I guess, IGN with the review here, a 5.2 out of 10 mobile game. So
that sounds about right.
Their credits aren't fantastic. Well, I mean, it fits right in with the current slate of Xbox games, like Redfall, for example. But I wonder if, and this, I guess, jumping the gun a little bit to Bethesda Game Studios, but with Starfield coming out pretty imminently, And even when they last kind of launched their last almost recent big Bethesda Game Studios game being Fallout 4, they then announced Fallout Shelter at the same time. So maybe this Alpha Dog could be working on like some sort of Starfield spin-off game similar to Fallout Shelter, maybe.
Possibly. Completely forgot about that. I completely forgot about the old Shelter.
People lost their mind over Shelter, and even like I mean that's the Fallout game I've enjoyed the most. So because the others are shit, overrated franchise. But anyway, yeah, maybe it could be that. But otherwise, do you have any other ideas?
No, none. Still don't know anything about them, and probably never will until they actually do release something.
Yeah.
Whenever the hell that is.
Next up is, and we've just referenced Redfall, next up is Arcane. Now, they do have multiple studios. They have a Deathloop team. They do have the Redfall team. Do you expect to see like a Deathloop 2 or something from, I guess, either Arcane Leon or, was it, the Texan, and Austin, the Texas one?
Well, I would say a Deathloop 2, maybe a forced apology from the poor developers who had to work on Redfall because of dickhead management, by the sounds of things. But other than that, I think they're just going to lay low for a little bit.
The 60 frames patch is out now, console players. Yeah.
What about the rest of the game? Is it playable? Still shit? Oh, well, never mind then.
Yeah, I don't.
I think they're just going to lay under a rock for a considerable amount of time until another really, really poor released game comes out, and then they completely forget about Redfall and just focus on the other poorly released game.
Well, I mean, that kind of shifts the focus over to Bethesda Game Studios, where we've just obviously referenced Starfield. They're the next, I mean, I guess maybe Forza or something could potentially slide in before Starfield, but at the moment, as things stand, Starfield is the next big game. I mean, could it be a flop? Or, I mean, do you think it'll be, I'm pretty confident?
I'm pretty confident they won't stuff this one up.
Because
like I said, the gameplay we saw last year, it looked pretty good, and it's just maybe they've cut their 1,000 planets down to
something
950 reasonable. Or something reasonable. Some. Like I said, I'm gonna be that idiot that's gonna try and go to all 1,000 planets.
Yeah, so would I think. Especially if it ends up being good.
Well, I don't say they couldn't go 2 for 2 for disastrous releases, because otherwise there's going to be heads on the chopping board if this goes bad.
I don't know if Todd Howard actually knows how to make a bad game. So,
well, there you go. If Todd's in charge, I can see Todd's like, right, we're not stuffing this up.
I'm putting my leather jacket on, and I'm going to impress everyone. And so, I guess when it comes to the showcase, I figure that showcase might be 30 minutes at the end. It is meant to follow, the Starfield thing is meant to follow the primary showcase. I figure a good 30 minutes or so afterwards, where they could just deep dive, similar to what they've done with like Fallout 4 in the past.
Yeah, just pretty much just talk about gameplay and just say, hey, you get to do this, and we finally got our shooting right this time.
Yeah.
About damn time.
To be fair, the shooting looked pretty good I think they've kind of learned how to make a shooter potentially. So you don't need to rely on something like a VATS or something like that you see in Fallout, but we'll see. Any chance that we see anything, I mean, Elder Scrolls 6 is in development. They're also the House of Fallout, whether I like it or not.
House of Fallout? What is it? Just a medieval thing?
I guess they're the lead for Fallout these days as well. Any chance that we see Elder Scrolls 6 or something related to Elder Scrolls?
You got to have. It's been 12 years. Come on, give people what they want. They want another Elder Scrolls game, not a remake of Skyrim.
Yeah.
No more remakes of Skyrim. It's just.
Yeah, I don't think they can go there again. I don't think they can go there again. Finally.
I don't care if you put the dog in from Fallout. No.
Do we see remasters or do we see like a next gen version of Fallout 3, New Vegas and 4? Do we see Morrowind and Oblivion get touched up and returned? Because obviously, like, there's lots of fan mods that do that sort of thing. There's things like what's it called, Sky Oblivion, for example, which is basically people making Oblivion, but in the with the tools mods for Skyrim, and apparently it's meant to be looking pretty good. We see some really amazing looking Morrowind takes as well. Any possibility that we see any revival of those older games?
Oh, it's hard to say. I'm gonna say no
My
because
gut says
everything.
no.
I think, but everything's just gonna be focused on Elder Scrolls 6 and nothing else. Because they've never made. Have they ever done a remake besides Skyrim 17 times? Have they done
No,
it with any other game?
no, not yet.
Well, I don't
Um,
see it really happening
I certainly don't see
yet.
them themselves doing it. Like, I feel like it'd be the sort of thing they'd be throwing off to another team, but it would be the sort of thing that Todd would get up and talk about. And like, okay, you love Morrowind, you love Oblivion, or you love Fallout 3, you love New Vegas, you love Fallout 4. Here we go. We've partnered with somebody, whoever that somebody happens to be, to create this remastered collection. But yeah, I think 12 months ago I felt more sure of that than I do now, simply because now we are basically on the eve of Starfield, and I think they'd just be getting in their own way if they announced anything like that. So we'll might just have to sit and wait for a while. Next one's a really fascinating one. We've discussed this studio and this franchise quite a bit, even the last year with some tier makers and those sorts of things. The Coalition, so Gears of War. Any chance that we see Gears 6 or a collection or anything along those lines?
Or one of those two. It's either a preview of Gear 6 or remakes of 1 to 3.
Yeah,
And if you want to throw Judgment in there too, go for it. But 1 to 3.
I'm really hoping for that like Marcus Phoenix collection style thing where they just put in one because
Oh
they've
yeah,
already
the thing.
remade that,
Yeah, the thing. Yeah,
and
the
then
thing
they
we were
do two
talking
and
about
three.
last year or sometime. We did talk about a Marcus Phoenix collection
Yeah, so I'm
of some
hopeful.
sort.
There's little rumblings that there are like multiple collection style things in the works over there, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, Compulsion Games is a studio we've not heard much from since. Well, nothing. Actually, we've heard nothing from since they
Nothing.
were acquired. And they're the We Happy Few team. They did Contrast for PS4 back in the day. Um, they were bought in 2018. It's been 5 years since they were picked up, let alone when they released We Happy Few. So, do they show up?
You'd hope so.
You'd hope,
Been
yeah,
5 years. You'd hope they'd show up and show something.
something.
I mean, 5 years is a long time. It's like Insomniac's made. I know we're talking about PlayStation. Insomniac's had released about 6 games in that period. Not quite 6. We got Ratchet and
Spider-Man,
Clank, 2 Spider-Man
two
games,
Ratchets, two Spider-Mans, and a third
or,
Spider-Man, being Spider-Man 2, of
or
course.
5.
So yeah,
So,
it's pretty full on. No, absolutely no idea what the game would be. It's probably some sort of new IP, but there's a code name for something kicking around. Like Midnight, I think is the like Project Midnight. Now that could still, no, I mean that could mean nothing, but yeah, it's time for them. Double Fine. So they've recently put out Psychonauts 2. They're supposedly working on a couple projects at least. Sorry. Any thoughts?
no. When was Psychonauts 2 released? Like 2 years ago?
20,
Last year?
2021. Yeah, came
Or
out
2 years ago?
same year as Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So
Oh, there we go. I would love to see another costume quest, but I don't think that's going to happen.
yeah, I think Xbox is looking for
Highly
big hits
unlikely.
at the moment.
Well, any hits at this rate, how they're going, but I don't know what they'll bring. Another brutal, not brutal. Is it brutal legend?
Yeah, it could be like we've partnered up with EA because I think EA owns the IP.
And then Jack Black appears and just starts speaking like, hey, Jack," and it's just a Jumanji game,
Oh,
and everyone's just disappointed.
that took a
Oh,
real that
ugh.
took a real nasty turn.
Or School of Rock, Guitar Hero style. It's just the same song over and over.
I don't know that it'll be a new Psychonauts, but they've got to be working on. Yeah, I mean they're apparently working on like 2 other titles. Apparently that was something that kind of came out during the. It was almost like a 24-hour long documentary that came out about the development of Psychonauts 2. And somewhere along the way, it was discussed that they had 2 other games in development. So maybe one of them pops up. It could be something big, could be something small. Not too sure, but I'd be keen to see it. So next, that takes us to a team that there's a lot of fascination about the initiative, and so they're working on Perfect Dark, the reboot of Perfect Dark. I mean, you gonna see it?
No, I think they just need a fork because they are
They're done.
done. They're done.
Well, Crystal Dynamics is doing all the work for them anyway.
Well, that's because all the people in the initiative left anyway, so they probably
Yeah.
need Crystal Dynamics to do all the work for them. So Crystal Dynamics can give them a fork.
Yeah, I mean, they,
Because we talked about
I
this,
feel like
the
they need to
amount of
show it.
yeah. Well, they need to show something instead of trailer they showed. I don't know how long ago that trailer was. It was a long, long time ago. It was something about a
Yeah,
tornado. That's all I remember.
yeah, I don't really remember too much. I think it was like maybe a
Like a
Gamescom announcement or something
futuristic.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like some global warming, something or other. I don't know.
yeah, that sounds about right. Next one is a team that we I mean, look, Xbox has had their troubles, but this is a team that they've picked up and we've loved what they've been doing in the last few years. id id Software, so the Doom developers. What are you thinking? Do we see
Surely another
Quake,
Doom game
Doom,
or
anything?
Quake. One of those two. I'd just like to see another Doom game. It's been 3 years. I want another Doom game. Been that long. I didn't realize it was 2020 since the last
Yeah, it came out
Doom game.
same day as Animal Crossing in
Ridiculous.
2020.
Really?
Yeah, those two went head to head, and so
Wow.
both communities somehow came together and just made like some amazing shit that was kind of crossing over
Wow.
Animal Crossing with Doom.
You could not have two different games come out on the same day. It's
Yeah,
just one kid friendly. Hey, here's my turnips, and then there's the other one. I'm gonna rip your
I'm gonna rip,
spine out.
and yeah, it worked pretty well. It was a really entertaining time. Uh, but I don't know if we're ready for Doom 3. I guess of this kind of reboot style thing. I don't know exactly, but um, I'm hopeful though. Yeah, whether it's Doom, Quake, whatever, I'm hopeful that we'll get something.
It's
So,
gotta be a Quake or something. They have a Quake con every year, and they don't even bring out another Quake game.
well, there was Quake Champions a few years back. But I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
still PC. I don't know if that's ever
I
gone to
don't think it's been
console.
a console.
So,
No, don't believe so.
otherwise, I feel like I probably would have at least given it a crack. So, we'll see. Next up is In Exile, which are basically the original creators of Fallout. They're the one, like, some of the heads there are the people who actually created the old school, like Fallout 1, 2, Tactics, all that sort of stuff. But these days, they're known for Wasteland 1, 2. I think there's 3 of them now. So, um, there's rumblings that they might be working on, like, an old school Fallout using
They
those
do
skills from
Bard's Tale
Wasteland.
as well.
Hey,
It's the same people.
which one?
They do Bard's Tale or whatever it's called. Is that a different developer?
Yeah, I think so. In Exile.
I feel like they did.
They're working on. There's a project Cobalt that they're apparently working on at the moment. So
Cobalt.
another code name. A Mage's Tale, Bard's Tale. Yeah, they did the Bard's Tale.
Oh, there you go.
They put out a VR game in 2020 apparently. Frostpoint VR Proving Grounds for PC.
Really?
But yeah,
There you go. Didn't know they did VR
2020 was
game.
their last game. That was Wasteland 3. So, and that was kind of the end of that little, because that was a weird circumstance for them as well, where they'd the game was kickstarted in the first place, so they had to kind of see out that deal, that time, and go from there. So, I don't know. It could be Wasteland, could be Fallout. I mean, they've got a certain kind of path that they're on when it comes to things like Wasteland and Fallout. So we'll have to see. Any other thoughts at all when it comes to In Exile?
No idea. I remember they did Wasteland. I thought they're not going to make another Wasteland game, and I thought probably not another Bard's Tale game either.
No, I
So
wouldn't have thought so.
who knows what they'll bring? Probably they might bring something. They might bring nothing.
Yeah. Machine Games. So they're working on. I mean, they're mostly known for Wolfenstein these days, but also they're working on Indiana Jones. So do we see Indiana Jones show up?
Well, they're making an Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, and Todd
Really?
Howard's kind of working on it as well. Todd
Well,
Howard's
I
kind of
cannot
coming
fail
across
there,
from Bethesda
Todd.
Game Studios because Todd loves Indiana Jones. So,
Of course, because Indiana Jones has got a leather jacket, so why wouldn't he want to?
of course, shit. Why did I not think that? Of course, that's the reason why he likes him. Shit, yeah. I don't
Of
know if
course,
they.
it cannot fail.
I don't know if they want to show
Cannot
it off,
fail.
considering I mean, the movie doesn't come out till the end of the month, but the reviews for the movie are already out, and the movie apparently stinks.
Oh, really?
Like it's kind of
That's-
4 or 5s out of 10.
What did I say? Why am I not surprised by that at all?
Yeah,
Not surprised.
I don't get it. But I mean, do you think we see Indy then? Oh no, I suppose you don't really have the context. I mean, Indy came out. Sorry, was announced. I think 2 years ago at this point. So it's probably about
Be
time. I would have
close.
thought.
Maybe they just show a hat and a whip, and that's it.
That's
I don't know.
basically how they debuted it.
Oh, did they?
So
Maybe I'll
yeah,
just
that's pretty much that's
re-debut it, repackage it again with different lighting, with ray tracing, added ray tracing.
um
I don't know.
some gameplay this time. It's one of those probably if it comes
Gameplay?
back, it's got to have gameplay. So I don't know. It depends on where they're at. And Wolfenstein 3 was a thing that we were told was going to happen, and that's not as in that co-op one that we saw that was in the end actually developed by Arcane. Um, so hopefully that potentially turns up as well. Though I wasn't crazy about Wolfenstein 2, so I don't know. We'll see. Mojang or Mojang, whatever. They've just finished putting out Minecraft Legends. They're of course their core thing is the original, like the main Minecraft. But I mean, by chance, do we see anything from them at all?
Just more Minecraft. That's all I can see.
That's all they could possibly do.
Minecraft, because all the kids love Minecraft.
Yeah.
Surprised Sony doesn't complain about that.
I mean, they're not going to complain because they keep they at least still get the games, so that gives them something at least.
Yeah, well, see, that's why they're not complaining. It's not terrible quality whatsoever. So take that.
Yeah, it could be as simple as that. All right, so next up is one that I think we're both definitely keen to discuss more about. It is Ninja Theory, because they're working on Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 was actually announced in 2019, before, like at the same time as the Xbox Series X was kind of announced at the Game Awards that year, and then it has been a very slow burn ever since. But we saw a big gameplay demo. I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2021.
The one with the burning baby.
Yeah, the big burning baby thing.
So long ago.
It's been a while,
man.
So I feel like it's shit or get off the pot time. I think they need to actually put this thing out, and I think it's one of those at this point where it's late 2023 or early 2024. So I feel like it's almost a guarantee that we'll see it.
I'd hope so. Like you said, we saw it 4 years ago. We sort of barely heard anything since. So you would think that's probably about time that they actually showed something.
Yeah.
Don't go down the path of what were the ones we were looking at before? I forgot their name. Compulsion games.
Oh, Compulsion. They just disappear. Yeah.
Just disappear. Don't do what Compulsion did. Just show something. Show more burning giant babies or something.
Anything. Just give us something. Yeah. They've got to show footage. I think it's as simple as that. Next one is also another studio. I mean, this is probably the best team there at the moment. Like, it's a really...
It's almost the Insomniac of...
They are the Insomniac for sure.
Not quite up there with Insomniac, but they're actually the only ones putting out games.
So, with that said... Oh, sorry, I just saw a shitty moment in the footy. I got totally distracted then. With Obsidian, I mean, they've got Avowed and the Outer Worlds 2 in development. They're still supporting Grounded, which has now gone, like, as a full release, came out last year. They put out Pentiment last year, so the Josh Sawyer team is done with Pentiment there, and they're able to move on. But I don't know what's first. They've announced, like, both Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed are kind of the two big ones that are in development, but I don't know what's meant to kind of come off the conveyor belt first. I feel like it's Avowed.
I was going to say Outer Worlds 2.
You reckon it's Outer Worlds 2?
But it's one of these things. Like I said, saw a trailer a few years ago, and then same again. Then nothing since. Just a trailer about putting fancy things in a trailer.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, you would think maybe they're big both. Who knows?
Whatever the case is, I think one of those two games will have to show up. Maybe even both, but I feel like at least one of them has to show up. For me, it feels like it's Avowed, but you also probably can't put that too close to the end of the showcase. I feel like that's got to be one you go early with, because then you start getting a bit too close to... well, actually, for either game, whether it's Outer Worlds or Avowed, you get a little bit too close to Starfield, and a lot of similarities in terms of that big open RPG stuff, even if one's fantasy and the other's...
space. You don't want to have back-to-back space games.
Yeah, I think they need to give them a bit of space. So, earlier on in the showcase, I think it's the right time, regardless of whichever game they've got to show. So, I'm hoping they're there, just like I'm hoping Playground Game shows up with Fable.
Are Lion Game's not doing it? Are they just
Lions. They're dead.
They're dead. Oh, good. Maybe that's what happens when you make a Kinect game. Just you die. What a shame. So we go from a driving game to Fable game. That's a very different approach. So Playground games are English based.
Yes, yeah, they're English.
Oh, well, there you go. So it's still in the same country then. So that's a good start. So they can find all those British actors instead of finding Americans try to speak British. That is great.
There's like weird teasers. Um, I'll have to send you the link to the video afterwards. There's this weird tease that Xbox put out where there's like an Xbox controller sitting on a table covered in glitter. It's an announcement for it's like a tease for the showcase, but there's like a thing with glitter and there's like a trail that leads all the way up to their
Why,
monitor.
they got their own phone. They got their own phone party equivalent for Xbox.
Yeah,
Oh, glitter party.
The whole it's weird, but they're teasing something, and I feel like that even that little video is meant to be a tease for Fable, but we'll wait and see. There's more and more rumblings that one will in fact be there, and I hope it is the case. You're a Fable fan, aren't you?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and I'm
not
a big
so much
fan
3,
as well, so.
2, yes, 1, yes. Not so much 3, but
yeah, 3
definitely
was
not
a
the
little bit
Kinect.
lesser, but
Not the Kinect. Definitely not the Kinect version.
well, that one
But
died in the end, Legends or whatever it was called.
So the Kinect as well. If you ever go to cash converters, all their games were just Kinect games. That was just funny.
Yeah.
Just look at it and go, yep, Kinect. Most of them were rare games as well. Unfortunately, they were stuck on the silly Kinect as well. But hopefully, they do bring a Fable game because it's been too damn long between Fable games.
Oh, yeah, and Fable is such a good franchise. So, hopefully, I mean, they're an English team, so hopefully they kind of still get what Peter Molyneux and Lionhead were about back in the day, and that becomes this big thing all over again. I really hope that's the case. That could be the sort of game that opens the showcase. It's an opener or a closer, I think that one.
Or closer. I would say closer if it's there. Definitely closer.
Yeah, I think that's unlike Avowed and Outer Worlds. I think that's one, like, even though it's a big open RPG again, I think that's one that you can get away with closing and then rolling straight into Starfield as opposed to the other two, because Fable is its own beast. Like, people just are desperate for it. So you can probably drop that. And again, the teaser's already out there. They've already put out one trailer, but hopefully we get some gameplay or something like that. Next up is Rare, who I don't know, just a fascinating beast. Sea of Thieves is still going really, really strong. Then there's Everwild that they announced years ago, and we've not seen anything of since. So, what should we expect from them?
Probably more Sea of Thieves. I kind of forgot about Everwild as well because I think I got distracted by their Pirates of the Caribbean themed.
Oh yeah, that's right. The DLC that came for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about Everwild. I was like, oh, cool. They might go play Sea of Thieves, and I never did.
Yeah, no.
I'm
in no hurry to go back, but it's become a really good game. It wasn't one when it first launched, but I don't think I've got the time to commit to something like that, let alone try and pour through all the stuff that they've added since. So I don't know. Hopefully, we'll say it every single time. Hopefully, Banjo shows up.
If only.
That'd just be, and it doesn't have to be from them, but obviously it's a Rare franchise. Just
so if you just get Rare and was it Platonic Studios working together, that'd be great.
It's what dreams are made of. If it can happen.
If only. It will never happen, unfortunately.
No,
but you never know.
I'm with you. Next up is another one of those studios, a bit like Alpha Dog, that we know nothing about. They're in fact completely new. Roadhouse Studios. I guess simple, just gut feel, yes or no. Do we see anything with their name attached to it?
No.
Yeah, I'll say no.
In true Xbox fashion, new studio means no. They can just talk about, oh, we got this brand new studio called this, and they're working on a game thing. That's great.
And that's
it. Are you going to show anything from it? You just got to tell us. It's like, oh, we got a new flavor of milk. Oh, cool. What is it?
You'll see.
Anyway,
moving on. Yeah, they don't actually ever answer the question. Next up is Tango Gameworks, who, I mean, they've been, I don't know, it's like they put out Hi-Fi Rush earlier in the year. There's been some listings on Steam, like some new achievements that have been listed there that would suggest that there's some DLC coming. So maybe that gets announced and launched at the Xbox Showcase potentially.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I only heard that news this morning. So, um, I guess like achievements popping on Steam are pretty definitive in terms of okay, clearly there's a thing going on. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully it comes out. I do need to get to Hi-Fi Rush at some point because so many people liked it. You weren't the biggest fan though, were you?
I didn't mind it. It
Yeah,
was just I found it at times repetitive. Everything else about it was good. It's just I found the sort of the combat and the gameplay bit
yeah,
repetitive. That was it. That's the only sort of criticism I had of it.
that's
Oh
fair.
no, I did like it. I enjoyed it.
I'll be interested to see if like kind of their core team has anything. But Ghostwire Tokyo is still not that old really, so we'll see. Turn 10. They're one of the sure things. They'll be there with the new Forza Motorsport. Um, are we going to get a car lowered from their virtual ceiling?
Sure, why not?
We got
It's,
it right.
it's something they would do.
You have to do it.
If they're going to talk about the game, its details of grass, road textures, of course they're going to say this car is going to be in
They've got to show off the car.
Forza as well. Whatever, some fancy expensive car that no one can ever buy or drive on the road without it catching on fire. It would be something. It'd be some sort. Or they just joke everyone and just bring out like the car from Mr. Bean and go, you get to drive this on day one. Like, reet.
Cool, guys.
A Reliant Robin, that's what you get. The three-wheeled car.
Yeah, it's
What's the score? I can see you looking there.
Cat's
Looking
down by
back
2 points at the moment. But yeah,
Oh,
we should have been blown away before, and there's just been some dumb mistakes on the Cat side, but they're coming good now. Anyway, I'll try not to get distracted by the game. Look, Forza's going to be Forza. It's now we're in front. Excellent. It's I don't know what they could do that's going to be new. Like I just expect
Shiny-
another high-end
shiny
racing
texture.
game that looks good, I guess.
shiny car surfaces. That's probably the one thing that's. And they'll just talk about it in detail and how they did it, this, that, and whatever. And I'll listen and go, wow, that's really interesting.
Look what happens when it rains
Hey.
this time.
Yes, it deflects off the windshield.
But then there's
And-
wind swirling around too, and that kicks up dirt. So look at how the dirt gets picked up by the wind and then slaps against the car, and you get streaks. And
And when you drive it into a wall, the damage it does, and this and that, are like, great.
no one can actually pay attention to it. So, because you're busy trying to drive and not crash into other cars or walls. So I don't, yeah, like
I
great.
was going to go, whoa, look at that rain texture, because everyone's like, shut up, I'm trying to drive. Get
Yeah,
out of my
pretty much.
way.
Undead Labs are working on State of Decay 3. Could that show up? Apparently they're
I
getting
thought,
some help
I
from the
thought
coalition.
3 was
on that
already
one.
out.
No, 2
that
was the
2?
last one, but
Oh, well, there you go.
that came out like around the same time in 2018 that they were acquired. So, I feel
Oh,
like
another old five-year trick.
let me
Ah, I see.
let me double check. Undead Labs. 2018 they were bought. 2018 they released State of Decay 2, and just State of Decay 3 is in development. When did they actually announce that?
Probably 2019 or 2020. in
2020.
Typical,
Yeah, so
typical form.
yeah,
As
pretty much.
every other developer on Xbox's list of games in development for a long, long, long time.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, they're due, but they've also had their own issues in the last few years, like in terms of workplace culture reports and all those sorts of things. So they might be trying to sort some of their shit out. We'll have to see there. World's Edge is the Age of Empires team, and they've already done a little bit this year. Like they've put out Age of Empires on consoles, and Age of Empires 4 is still fairly fresh. So I feel like they're a team that we could pretty confidently say we won't see anything from.
So no Age of Mythology as they once
No,
released.
they have announced that was getting remastered, actually.
Oh, really?
Now that you mention it. Age of Mythology remastered.
Or have they struck a deal with
Studio World's Edge. So yeah, it could actually show up.
or have they struck a deal again with Kellogg's and putting game
Please.
discs? Oh wait, I didn't realize that's game discs aren't going to work. No one uses game discs anymore. Get codes printed on the inside of the box.
I'll take it. That'll work.
Where you use it, I don't know. Go to their website. Their really, really badly functioning website to put it in
Yeah.
and ask 20 questions and, hey, would you like promotions for more Kellogg's products? No. Well, too bad you're not getting the game. Get out.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Get out of here.
Get lost.
So next up, and it's kind of our last one really because like they have Xbox Game Studios which does Flight Sim, but like it's not really them at all. It's Asobo, which is the Plague Tale team. So we'll ignore that one. Good one, IGN. We've got ZeniMax Online Studios, which are the Elder Scrolls Online team. I feel like that's almost a given to show up in some capacity. They've been doing that every year for years.
Just more fancy features of Elder Scrolls Online, just
Yeah.
to get more suckers into that game. Well, more people, I should say, not suckers.
Oh, well, I
Get
mean,
more people playing.
They don't charge a monthly cost, so I guess we can't be
Well,
suckers.
yeah,
But I'm,
no
I'm
suckers.
definitely keen to give it a crack. So that'll be good. Which now takes us to third party and indie stuff. Is there anything else that I mean? We've got. I guess there's some known things. There's Stalker 2. There's the game from. Oh shit! From the Just Cause team.
Well, Crystal, no, not Edios. Is it Edios?
What was it called? It was a code name.
Code name Rico.
Avalanche Studios. I'm trying to check the
Oh,
name.
Avalanche, that's right.
Contraband. Contraband was something that was announced a couple of years ago.
Just another Just Cause game, I would reckon.
Yeah, it could be, I think. But I guess they're two fairly prominent ones that have been announced as being Xbox exclusive already. And they're probably due to show up. But do you have any other thoughts at all as to what could possibly be there from the third parties or whatever, either exclusive or just showing up, similar to all the third parties that just randomly showed up at PlayStation?
Yeah, I feel like the Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty.
Yeah.
There might be a trailer there because there was all this funny thing overall last week because PlayStation's showcase was that all the people were making up silly rumors that Sony had acquired CD Projekt Red, which CD Projekt Red came out and said no.
Yeah, they shot that one down.
Shut that one down. Like it was like, oh, it was a reliable source. Like whenever anyone says it's a reliable source, it's not a reliable source. If you say sources say, I believe that, but
the
not
only reliable
a reliable
source is Master Foods.
Oh, Master Foods. It is. Yes, that is very
there we
good.
go.
Man. Wow, very, very good. Master Foods and nothing else. Not White Crow. That stuff's rubbish. Gets stuck in a bottle.
White Crow, but yeah, it's not the same anymore.
Not anymore. No.
Um,
Or Heinz. That can just go in the bin.
Yeah, no, don't waste your time with it. It's.
But I would definitely say Cyberpunk. Just more of a layout of what the story is, not so much gameplay, because we know what Cyberpunk gameplay is.
In the last couple of days, they've basically announced like a big promo tour for the Phantom Liberty DLC. So this could be one of those ones where they, announce it and then the turnaround is really, really short. I mean, I don't know if it'd be and it's available now style thing.
No, I think they put a date on it. It was like, actually June, so we're pretty close. As is, it was either June or July. I'm pretty sure they had a rough date. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they penciled in a date somewhere. Or they might not have.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it yet.
Well,
but
maybe Keanu or Idris Elba will come out and tell us. In true CD
100%. As if they won't. Yeah, I'm all about that way of thinking. But yeah, it's pretty close. Like clearly it's close based on all this little promotion stuff that they're going on. So I'm keen to see it, and maybe that's when I'll finally actually give the game a second chance. Since it tanked obviously in the first place. Next, are there any other third parties?
I reckon we might get a cryptic trailer of whatever Kojima's working on.
Oh, he's
related to his Xbox.
Name? I've forgotten the code name.
Enormous Regis. Codename Death Stranding 2.
Kojima Xbox code name.
Dakota Fanning's sister.
I can't find it.
Is it?
But
Solid
it
Snake.
was like some drug sort of name. Something about
Oxycontin. Heroin.
Overdose.
Overdose. Oh, so it's not even a drug. Just
it's just something to do with drugs. It's like, what was it?
Nothing
What was
to
it?
do with drugs.
So yeah, I feel like that's. I mean, they're trying to boost their Japanese development scene through things like Hi-Fi Rush, but also this they've now added, now that it's kind of no longer PlayStation exclusive, they've brought Ghostwire Tokyo over. They got the Persona games. There was a Dragon Quest game that was announced the other day from Square Enix, and Square Enix is actually putting a game on Xbox apparently, because that
Oh,
Dragon
so
Quest game is
Sony
coming
run
to
out of
Xbox. So
Sony's run out of money. Have they to pay
yeah, pay them
developers
off.
to stay off? Or he got called out as like, oh
Yeah,
damn it.
they got called out. Alright, fine, we'll let them have this one. We don't care enough about it. But yeah, I don't. So yeah, maybe a bit more Japanese sort of support is coming. I suppose that's an option or possibility. But I don't know who. I suspect they've not landed like a Square Enix exclusive. I don't think they could get
Oh,
a.
there goes Sega.
I don't know if they could get really any exclusives from like yeah, Sega might be the one. They're pretty
Sonic.
friendly. So
Well, that murdered one. This murdered
one.
Sonic. I
Oh
can't remember.
yeah, I think it was just straight up called like the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog or something. But I mean that's already available free on PC. So the best you could do is just make it free on Xbox as well. What was it called? Murder. Oh yeah, the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. So I guess we'll see. I mean, indies could show up like Devolver likes to make themselves seen. They've got
But wouldn't Devolver do their own thing as
yeah,
they've done in
they've got their own showcase planned. I think.
their own state of the art? How to do it? Go over, do their trailer, see if fake Aquaman turns up again this time or not.
Yeah. So, good value that. Their showcases are always good fun, but yeah, I don't know. There was that indie game Cocoon that was kind of coming from a whole bunch of ex Playdead
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Playdead being the Limbo and Inside people, so that's an option as well, I guess. But I don't
Do
know.
we see another Ori game?
They're working with Epic Games on something now,
Oh,
but I mean I don't know what. But they're working with Epic on something.
another
So.
more Ori Fortnite.
Ori Fortnite. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, to be fair, like Alan Wake 2 is with Epic.
Yeah.
Like that's through Epic as well. So they're not just about Fortnite these days. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've got a lot on the first party that I think they need to show off. I think like if they keep if it's like a 60-40 split, then in terms of Xbox first party being 60, then they've put together a really good show. I think they're probably going to be the obvious kind of winner from this period of those two big first parties because PlayStation's just kind of hit.
I reckon PlayStation set the bar that low. It's not going to be difficult to beat.
Yeah,
As harsh as it is to say, because all Xbox has to do is just, as Sony did to them, was just show some gameplay.
For more than one game, because obviously Spider-Man
More
was
than one
there and
game.
Spider-Man
Like,
was amazing.
one thing they will nail is the presentation, because they'll get Phil will come out and start it off. Then old leather jacket Todd will come out. Then some other people work with Xbox will start talking and this and that. And then you'll go, see, Sony, that's how you present a showcase.
Well, I mean, I guess like Starfield and Spider-Man really balance each other out because they're both getting their respective shows with that big one. So really, Xbox just needs to show anything else, and they're already one up.
All they have to do is just make a showcase that's reasonable enough that they forget about how bad Redfall was. If they do that, I call that a success.
It's a win. Yeah, the expectations for them are so much lower that like they can do anything and please us, which is an interesting one. But
it's going to be interesting to see if they go with the format they did last year and say these are the games that are coming out in the next year,
months,
or are they just going to go with we got games like old former president of PlayStation used to go around going whoa with his finger.
Here we go, let's do it.
And then he had a way in the background. That was the end of him. Sabotage. I call that sabotage.
Yeah, and Nintendo was
framed.
Nintendo was up to shit.
Old Jim. Jim put that Wii in there.
Had to get rid of him. Yeah, actually, yeah, it was PlayStation wanted him gone, not. No, R.I.P. Kevin Butler. Any other thoughts at all? We've managed to again. I think like even my point from a moment ago, being the expectations being lower for Xbox means that this will probably be a shorter one compared to the PlayStation thing, but well, it is significantly shorter at this point. We're almost a bit over half the length of what we did for the last episode. So
there's not much as we did. Like you said, it's Xbox. It's not much. We've gone through like 4 studios and just gone. There's nothing there. Move on.
Yeah, and they're more predictable. Again, they've got the Halo studio, they've got the Gear studio, they've got the Forza studios, they've got the Fable studio. It's all kind of clear.
It's like I would like to see a Monster Hunter game, but I don't think that's going to happen. It would be great, but I don't think it's going to happen. But the one thing I would love them to close them out with is Power Wash Simulator 2024.
Well, they just announced a VR pet, like the original Power Wash
Oh,
Simulator
really?
has gone into VR. It's coming to
Oh, man,
MetaQuest
that's so
and
good.
presumably PlayStation eventually, but MetaQuest initially,
Oh, wow.
which is pretty cool.
People are going to go crazy for that.
I've just ordered, like, my school's just ordered a whole bunch of VR headsets, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to try and find a way to convince them to. It'll be like, oh, it'll be great for the
ADD kids. Relaxation.
I was going to say like the vet students and like those who want to get into trades and stuff. Like, here, get some practice. Go,
I was going to say
spray down this house. Go spray down
those
this car.
people that are going to drop out in year 10 go, right, students, if you drop out in year 10, this is going to be your job for the rest of your life. Just power wash the shit out of the house. Like, can't stay in school, kids.
I think you've created a really good pitch for me, so that's it. We're getting that as soon as the quests arrive. All right, well then, I think on that note, we don't have anything else. I'm with you on Monster Hunter. Like, okay, PlayStation got Dragon's Dogma. If Xbox can land...
And Street Fighter. And Street Fighter as well.
Though Street Fighter's just been appearing at everything, it's just a disadvantage for Xbox in this case that their showcase comes after the launch. Blizzard, I mean, does Call of Duty show up? Blizzard, obviously, the deal's not done, but they're... sorry,
I'm going to say no.
Charming.
I'm going to say no until it's... I reckon if this whole thing's done and dusted, I'm going to say they're just going to stay off.
Just keep their distance for now.
Keep their distance for now, because old mate Bobby said silly things this week.
He has said some stupid shit.
You dickhead, Bob. I was like, just please, I just want to see the England Union, whatever the English Union, whatever they're called, just see that and go, oh, right, let's just approve it and get Bob out. Shoo, get out.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder as to why we all want him gone, but anyway, stupid prick. I'd love that Monster Hunter one to happen. That's just that idea's in my head now the whole time, but we'll see. And it's a Japanese studio too. It won't be exclusive. There's no way they could.
Ignore, no way.
They couldn't ignore the audience, but it'd be a good one. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring like Alan Wake and stuff over there, even though it's obviously already been shown at PlayStation. They could be really trying to get around Remedy at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I guess on that note, we'll wrap things up there. Any other thoughts?
I was going to say, as if it would be so good if there was a Control 2, but that's not going to happen.
Oh, there is a Control 2. It's just...
Oh, there is.
It'll just be further down the pipeline because Alan Wake will be first. So, no, there is an Alan Wake 2. That's a 505 Games job. So, look forward to that one in a few years, I hope. So, the showcase, for those unaware, is, I guess, in Australian time, it is early morning on the morning of the King's birthday. That is the 13th of... Hang on, let me double check that. The 12th of June. If you're in Melbourne, Xbox is having a fan fest there, starting at 11 p.m, rolling right through till probably 5 a.m. once the showcase is actually finished.
Oh, the old all-nighter.
Xbox has invited me along. I'm hoping to be there, but we'll see what happens with the kids for the whole thing.
Let's bring them along.
Just, guys, have a nap here. Don't worry about the BO, ridden nerds that are around me. It's fine. Nothing, but there's lots of Doritos, so if you want, that'll keep you happy, kids. Anyway, thanks to Xbox for that, and hopefully I can make it. We'll wrap things up there, though. If you enjoyed this episode of Patch, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons are down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment goes live on the channel. That includes Patch, Play 2 Plays, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patch, to the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Kicking a few bucks. Lower tiers, early access. Higher tiers, multi-episode exclusives. And Matto, before we do this all again next week and I guess recap the showcase, where can people find you on Twitter?
Matto_Phil.
Paul James Games for myself. The website's player2au. And yeah, until next week when we basically just do the other half of this and talk about what we saw. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you later.